Good morning. Today we are looking at MOSY's Incorporated, or MOSY. Right now is at about 5 times the average volume. 10 minutes into the opening bell. 195 is acting as resistance while the 50 EMA is climbing. Right now anything under looks like 117 should be a good buy. Just keeping track of the 200 and 250 EMAs here. And they're just about to cross, which is a great sign. So we're going to switch over to the 100 EMA, which sits to be about $1. But yeah, this is where the volume is today. We will see if we can't buy under the 50 EMA. Alerts for under probably 120 at this point. And we'll update you in just a few minutes. Alright, a few minutes have gone by. Basically, it wasn't able to pass over the 195 and the first initial sell-offs are beginning, and it's actually halted right now at 170, 171 on the bid and ask. I'm not sure why it's halted, but that was a pretty strong red candle right there. It looks like our 50 EMA is right at 133 or 132. And we will update you once this thing is unhalted. I'm thinking a little bit of a sell-off here. It is up 150% so far on the daily, so it definitely has room to fall. Alright, looks like it unhalted, and surprisingly it didn't do a big drop there. Resistance is about 185. Our 50 EMA is still climbing high here. We've got alerts for under 135, although it is around 137. And yep, it's still very much top of the volume chart. We're just going to stay patient and see if we can't get it under the 50. Alright, just going to log the second halt of the day on another downtick. Before it was halted, level 2 showed resistance at 155. Our 50 EMA buy target is 143 and under, most likely 140 and under. And yeah, this thing was halted twice already today. It's only been half an hour, and still looks like to be about 6 times the average, probably more like 7 times the average volume, and is the volume leader so far today. We'll see if we can't get a nice dip after this halt under the 50 EMA. Alright, it did unhalt, and it did test the 50 EMA, dropped to about 141 before climbing back up to the 150s. We're going to go ahead and stay patient here and try to aim for at least the lower 140s, if anything, because this was the opener at 144. So yeah, hopefully we can get it back down into the 140s. Alright, against my better judgment, we were seeing a little bit of a bounce here, so I bought just a few shares at 154, the tight stop loss at 155. We'll see. Most likely going to get stopped out here. But I just wanted to take a flyer just in case it decided to retest. My profit should be safe either way. Right now it's teetering on 156, so we'll see if we can't get not stopped here and somehow climb back up. The reason I also bought was because it was on a steady downtrend, which was it's a good sign of not buying at the top or definitely buying still on the downtrend. And unfortunately our 154 average got stopped out right there at 155. So that wasn't the true bounce. We're going to stick to our 50 EMA target which is right at around 146 and under. And since that wasn't the right bounce, we're gonna stick to being patient. Okay, we took another dip, not quite under the 50 EMA, but there is actually, that's where a lot of the bid support is, so I bought in at 149. The tight stop loss again at 150, and most likely going to get stopped out here. And yep, we did. Once again, I'm just trying to find the bid support, and it looks like it's about 150 and under is where the bid support is. But my stop losses have been very tight because I really don't like buying above the 50 EMA. And we need a strong dip on this one. It's losing a lot of volatility right now. If we can break under the 50, we will be able to buy with more confidence. All right, well, it came right back up to pass over the previous 160 resistance, which is a good sign. Wish I would have held on a few shares at that point, but it is in a tight range. We'll see if we can't get back in on another downtick. 50 EMA is climbing still, 149 and under. The 160 mark does seem to have a lot of resistance. And it wasn't much of a buy candle. It looks like it was just people asking for a higher price. So really trying to get back into this one, but it's got to be a good average. All right, so we did take a nice dip under the 50 EMA now. Our average is 148. Let's see here. 148 right here. It was testing the 160s, the 165. Still definitely the bigger resistance. Most likely going to slam into the 160 again, but we'll see if we can't stay over 148. So far, so good. That was the nice dip that we needed. Okay, so our 148 dip buy is looking good so far. We're going to go ahead and set a stop loss at 150. Right now it's at, looks like 154. The key resistance to break is 160 and over. It's been a good floor so far right here. As you can see, it opened at 144 and it's been sort of acting as a floor so far. But this thing is getting a hard time finding anyone to buy into it, so we'll see if our 148 it will be good enough to hold here. All right, we got a big green candle that basically killed the 160 resistance, pushed all the way to 170, which is a great sign of upwards movement here. Our 148 average is looking solid. We can have raise our stop loss to 160 right here. And yeah, we're going to let this one ride. All right, we are all out of MOSY. We sold in the high 170s and took a little bit of a dip to the 50 and rocketed back up. And we are gone out of MOSY now. We were able actually to buy into CCCL, China Ceramics, at 270. It is around 276 right now. We got a stop loss at 271. And we're going to let this one ride. It's a little late in the day for a good average on anything else. So thanks for joining me this morning. And hopefully China Ceramics will do something. It's It's a low floater, not a lot of volume, but we'll see if we can't test the threes on this one.